Understanding the massive disparity between how men and women are able to capitalize on the opportunities presented in sport, the GSports Awards were established to recognize the achievements of women in sport. Now into its 15th edition, we're about to chat to the founder and also extraordinarily gifted cricket commentator, Kass Naidoo, and one of the first recipients of an award, our original Golden Girl Olympic swimming champion and multiple world record breaker, Penny Heyns. Ladies, very good morning. Welcome to the show.
It's great to be on the show, Graham.
So good to see both of you, and hopefully lockdown has been treating you well. Kass, you've been keeping pretty busy, but you have been for a number of years now. If I can ask you, maybe take us back to the very beginning, to that time. What pushed you over the edge? What prompted you to create these awards in the first place?
Graham, I was hosting a radio show, and every time I interviewed a woman in sport, there was a story of struggle. And at the time, the only real positive story that was out there, and imagine that was 10 years after winning double gold in Atlanta, Penny Heyns was the champion for women's sport. And I decided to quit my radio show and launch an online initiative. And alongside that, we decided to honor Penny Heyns. So I gave Penny a call and I told her my crazy idea. And she said, great, I think I'd love to support this. And we thought, well, how would we honor someone so great? We can't just go to the local cafe and say, well, it's good to honor you. We gathered 20 powerful women in sport and went to a lovely hotel in Joburg, and we presented Penny with the first ever GSports Award as she was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And she was the inspiration behind the launching of this initiative to grow women's sports brands, to be the champion Penny Heyns was.
I absolutely love that. So Penny, you obviously had the honor of being the first, or one of the first recipients, and now an ambassador officially for the awards. I mean, your achievements in the pool are staggering. What did winning that award and having that kind of focus on you and women in sport mean to you back then?
I think that the initiative that Kass started and continuing to keep all of us who have been past winners somehow involved in these awards gives us a sense of longevity in our careers. You know, obviously, a lot of the people that I get to address now and work with are kids and young adults that were not even born when I swam, which is a very scary thought. And the likes of these awards and the constant involvement still allows for all of us previous winners to still be in the media somehow. So I think Kass has been very successful in her initiative. And I think that it's become, I think, the leading form of awards that recognizes women in sport.
I think it's absolutely amazing. Kass, I've got to ask you, you've chosen to work in probably one of the most male-dominated spheres in the world as a cricket commentator. How tough has it been for you? How challenging has it been for you to make your mark there?
I think in the early years, it was very challenging because, I mean, Penny will agree with this. You're trying to establish credibility. So I think the first 10 years was extremely challenging. In past the 15-year mark, I've realized that us as women need to have the confidence to stand on our own, because the systems are still struggling to deal with the boundary breakers and the people who are breaking through glass ceilings. So I still learn, I still bump my head, but I refuse to complain, because I think, people like Penny have shown us that if you swim your own race, as Penny has done all her career, you will achieve something. So as I said previously, lots of challenges to talk about. We'll write books later on. We're still busy with work at the moment.
Penny, you've become an incredible role model to, I think, all South Africans, but especially to young girls. How important is it to change the narrative for young girls specifically? What do you believe needs to change? What message should we be sending to young girls right now?
I think as we've looked, if we say specifically even in the code that I was involved with swimming, for a number of years there were a lack of role models, let's say 10 years after my career. But I think finally the girls have, because of the awards like GSports and also, like I say, the likes of the stars coming up now, Tatiana and others, they have people they can look up to. I think my message to the young girls is, as Kass rightly said, swim your own race. When you go through that plateau, that tough time, you just got to keep on keeping on, because we cannot see the heights that we could potentially achieve in the future when you're just starting out. It is one step at a time. Enjoy the journey and just focus on the details, because excellence in the details is what leads to the success of tomorrow.
Kass, obviously this year, massive milestone for you, and you've chosen to celebrate that with 2 new categories. Can you tell me a bit more about the African Women in Sport and the Global Women in Sport Awards?
It's so exciting for us to expand the platform. Over the years, particularly early on, people were saying, why don't you take it into Africa? You should try to go global. And as Penny says, one step at a time. So having charted the way forward here for 14 years and heading into our 15th year, we decided to honor global and African women in sport who are not the Serena Williams and not the big stars. These are women who have done so much but don't get the recognition. So both categories have already got great nominations.
Such an important conversation, and so important the work that both of you continue to do now for those working in the industry around sport. This is wonderful. So thank you so much to both of you. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks so much.
I've got to say, if I feel this privilege to have shared just the last few minutes with these incredible women, I can only imagine just how enriching being able to share in the prestige of these awards must be. So don't forget, you can nominate for your favorite sportswoman across all of the 21 categories at gsport.co.za/nominations. You have an opportunity to cast light where it is desperately needed, so go and exercise that right. There is an opportunity to do it.